Pluto stationing retrograde is a 5-month opportunity for deep self-inquiry and inner transformation. Pluto digs up the darkest parts of us, our trauma, our need for control, and shows us where we're ready for healing. And we're talking today about Pluto stationing retrograde on the 7th of May, Brisbane, Australia time. This happens for 5 months. So this happens every year, so it's not something new or different. 5 months every year, Pluto goes retrograde, goes back over that old same ground that he's just been traveling on. So we go back to January this year. Whatever's happened on that psychological deep level, and that's what Pluto is, from January to now, Pluto is going to go back over those same degrees. So you can expect that you'll be bringing things back up that have already been brought to the surface, but May's digging them up again. So he's giving you another chance for that self-inquiry, that healing that goes along with it, the power of Pluto. I'm Jessica Pearce, astrologer and soul regression therapist. Welcome to another weekly update of the energies that are impacting us all. Hopefully I can provide you with some guidance so that you can make use of these energies. And yes, today we are talking about Pluto going retrograde on the 7th of May. And Pluto really is, a powerful planet. Although his status has been downgraded. So I don't even think they class him as he's a dwarf planet now, but he's still very powerful, small, mighty, and powerful. And Pluto represents for us on an evolutionary level is about transformation. Transformation on a deep psychological level. It's about our inner processes. It is the trauma that we're carrying, the stuff that we push right down so we don't have to deal with it. What Pluto does is has a way of bringing that stuff to the surface so that we can deal with it. And remember, as hard as it can be, during those times when that stuff is coming to the surface, we signed up in this life to face those challenges. We're ready for it. We can do it. We have the strength, the courage to be able to face those deepest parts of ourselves that we try and hide away. We can face them. And then the beauty of that is that what comes from the other side, you get that rebirth, the new you that shines through, no longer carrying that baggage anymore. Now we look at Pluto being an Aquarius. And it's really it's taking back your power. Pluto's left Capricorn, and Capricorn rules government control, right? Amongst a lot of other things, but it's that top-down structured control, basically. And now that Pluto's moved into Aquarius, it's all about, Aquarius is about humanity. It's about the people. It's about community. So that power of Pluto moving into Aquarius is all about people power. It's about a community. It's about decentralization, about moving away from that top-down structure of Capricorn and giving the power back to the people. And that also, is your personal power as well. So I guess as Pluto is traveling through Aquarius, it's giving us the opportunity to burn down, release, and let go of those old power struggles and come back to your own internal power. It really is, the phoenix rising from the ashes, and you're the phoenix. Yes, you have to burn first, but the beauty is on the other side of that. It's like the butterfly emerging. It's the beautiful butterfly. That's what you get from Pluto. When you do, after you do the work, yes, it's tough. Yes, it's tough. And then, when Pluto goes retrograde, it's really allowing for that opportunity to, reflect back. It's because it happens every year. So every year for 5 months of the year, so nearly half the year, you get that opportunity to go back over that old ground. Things might have come up and you've thought, not quite ready to deal with that. Push that down. A retrograde brings it back up again. It says, you know what, I'm here, I need to be dealt with. And then it's going to go over that same degree again when it goes into forward motion. So you do get a number of opportunities with Pluto retrogrades to face those deeper parts, to process and work through those deeper parts and allow those old parts of us to die, basically, so that the new parts can be born. It's that death and rebirth is the Pluto way of life. So with this retrograde, it's really offering that time to turn inward and deciding what needs to die. You know, what parts are you holding back so that you can rise like the phoenix and own your own power. Okay, so what part of you needs to die? And what are you allowing to be birthed? And, you know, and that power that we talk about with Pluto, and this could be one of the shadow aspects, or, you know, one of the wounds that you are carrying around is that control. So are you seeking to control others? Are you allowing others to control you? There needs to be some awareness on how you're using the power of Pluto. Particularly if Pluto's strong in your chart, then you do have that power easily available to you, and which, when it comes easy, sometimes it can be used in the wrong way. So it's being aware that, you know, with that power, what do you choose to do with it? Now, I just want to show you the chart, so I'll just bring up the chart here. Okay, so you can see here's Pluto up here, 5 degrees and 30 minutes of Aquarius. This is when it stations retrograde, 7th of May, as I said, Brisbane time, Australia, and it's at 1:34 in the morning. To be honest, the time's not really important. You're going to feel it, you know, you're probably already feeling it, because it's at that degree where it is stationing retrograde. Now, what is really nice about this station is that the traditional ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. Saturn's over here in Aries, and he's sextiling. Gosh, I'm having a shocker today. Saturn is sextiling Pluto. So he's offering that support. So Saturn looks over and says, okay, Pluto, you're in my house, and I can support you with whatever you're trying to achieve over there. So that's really nice. It's nice to have that support from Saturn. And then the more modern ruler is Uranus, which is over here, just stepped into Gemini, and that's 5 degrees away. So probably, you know, not as tight an aspect, but it's still a trine, or even a, you know, sign-based trine if you're using whole sign houses. So again, though, it's in supportive aspect. So you've got, you know, both rulers of Aquarius, Saturn and Uranus, both supporting Pluto in this retrograde phase. So that's really lovely. And, you know, we've got that support there. So that's really great. I don't think there's anything else that I would note here on the chart. Oh, we do have Neptune sextiling Pluto. So it's I guess, you know, Pluto represents spirituality. It's also that imaginal realm. So I guess it is supporting and offering that opportunity for us to really allow ourselves to surrender, you know, and let go. It's like Neptune is all about surrender and letting go. So we've got that support there as well, in helping us to let go and surrender in whatever area Pluto is in your chart. And I'm just checking my notes to make sure I haven't missed anything, and I think I've covered everything there. So we'll move into this sign-by-sign delineation now and see how it impacts you in your chart. Okay, so we're going to cover your your sign now. So looking at sun sign, we're talking about your core essential nature, the the person who plays the role. So it's your core essential nature. It can relate to matters about career, purpose, but it's who the essence of you actually is. It's you deep inside of you. And usually this is more accurate after the age of 44. You start living more from your sun sign. Once you've let go of all of that conditioning and you're ready to truly be who you are. So that's where you can listen for your sun sign. Your moon sign is about how you feel, your emotions, can be related to matters to do with home or even mother. And then your rising sign it's the character that you play. So the sun is the actor, and then the rising sign is the character in the movie, or it's your avatar. It's how you show up to the world. It's how you interact with the world. That's your rising sign. So listening for all three, and see which one resonates with you. Remember, if you do like this content and it is resonating with you, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment about what aspects you really enjoy listening to, or what you'd like me to touch on in future videos. And let's get started with your signs. Okay, so starting with Aries, sun, moon, and rising. So this is happening up here in your 11th house. So this is the house of friends, social networks, groups. It's also the house of your goals, dreams, long-term wishes, I suppose you could say. So this could be related to something to do particularly with your friends group, with social groups that you associate yourself with. And maybe you're thinking, are they aligned with who you're evolving to become? Or do the groups that you once associated with still provide that support that helps you with your future goals and dreams? Is it time to really face some truths about who's feeding your soul and who's just stopping it from progressing? And you've got Saturn there supporting you from the first house. So it could be related to, identity issues, or identity matters, I should say, not issues, but your identity is shifting, and now your groups need to align with that. Maybe there's some trauma that you're carrying associated with groups, and this is an opportunity to allow you to understand that and move past that as you birth yourself into the next version of you. So this is for Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. And Pluto is going retrograde in your 10th house. This is the house of career. It's your public reputation, your social status, if you like. So Pluto going retrograde here in your 10th house, generally would relate to matters to do with your career. So maybe you're really thinking about, I don't like this job, I want a new job. This doesn't align with who I am anymore. So maybe Pluto is digging those deep feelings up, bringing those feelings up to the surface and saying you can't ignore this anymore. If you really don't love what you're doing, Pluto's saying, well, now's the time to change that. Now's the time to start thinking about that. I mean, Pluto is going to be here for another 20 years. So you've got a little bit of time to, make the changes, if you like. But the sooner that you start listening to Pluto and not pushing those feelings down, not wanting to deal with it because it's too hard, the sooner Pluto gives you the gift of that rebirth, that transformation. That's That's why he's in the 10th house. That's what he's offering you. It's a total transformation in, your reputation. But first, something needs to die for that new reputation to come in, or that new career to come in, and to let go and release, and surrender. Okay, you've got Neptune over here supporting that surrender and that letting go. Allow it to happen. Then we've got Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So Pluto is retrograding in your 9th house. So the 9th house of philosophy, religion, long distance travel. The point of the 9th house, really, it's about, expanding your worldview. It's about, bringing in experiences that change your philosophy, your ethics, your morals at a core level. So it's offering you that opportunity to really let go, surrender. You've got Neptune over here helping you with that, releasing old beliefs, old, ethics that no longer serve you. And it's a process. I mean, Pluto's going to be here for a while, so there may be different layers to that. But listen to what's coming up for you, particularly over the next, 5 months. Something might have already started to come up from January. You might be noticing things that, you just assumed was the status quo, and that was just what you believed, and that's how it's always been. But maybe there's new information that's coming into your field of awareness and is making you question those beliefs, that long-term beliefs that you've held. So there's an opportunity there for you to transform, let go, surrender, let the old beliefs die so the new ones can bloom. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Pluto is transiting in your 8th house. This is the 8th house, is traditionally known as the house of death, but does stand for other things. It's a very psychological house. It can be, the house of traumas, of anything taboo, occult. But I think at a deeper level, it's about healing. It's about healing. So Pluto there, yes, it may be bringing up old stories. It may be digging up old wounds. But remember what I said in the intro, whatever's coming up in this lifetime is because as a soul, you agreed to work on it. You agreed to heal it. And you're able to do that. You've got the resources to do it. So as hard as it is, know that you can get through it. And on the other side is that the freedom of not carrying that baggage anymore. So Pluto here really offers you that opportunity to release those traumas, to let them die, and to let the evolved you be birthed. You've got the support of Neptune over here, helping you to surrender and let go. Then we've got Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So Pluto is transiting your 7th house. 7th house of relationships. So it's going to be partnerships, marriage partnerships, business partnerships, contractual agreements, close friendships. So this is a very transformative time in those close one-to-one relationships. There may be relationships that need, have expired. Their time's up. It's time to let them go. You've got Neptune there to help you release and surrender what needs to go. You may have noticed some themes coming up, since January, or even really since Pluto moved into Aquarius, where it's bringing up themes about your one-to-one relationships. Perhaps you've noticed that certain relationships are no longer aligned with who you're becoming or who you've become. So they're up for renewal. But the great news is it doesn't mean they're all going. It means that there's an opportunity there to transform that relationship as well. There's an opportunity for, a deeper connection to, go through the thick of the fire together and come out the other side stronger. You can rise together as a pair of phoenixes. I'm not sure what that's referred to, but you get the point. Then we've got Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Pluto is transiting your 6th house. So the 6th house is the house of health, nutrition, exercise, your health routines, your daily work. Can be pets as well, animals and pets. Also an unequal relationship. So like, employer, employee, maybe it's like a mentoring relationship where you could be the mentor or the mentoree. But that's the house, the 6th house. So with Pluto transiting here, it's really offering you that opportunity of healing, any wounds that you may have around those types of relationships. It's also the house of debts, particularly karmic debts. So maybe Pluto here is offering you the opportunity to resolve and release those karmic debts. And that'd be great. Finally move on and not be carrying that baggage anymore. So you're getting the opportunity here. It could even be about, your health, maybe health routines, maybe something's been coming up for you the last few years and you are trying to ignore it. Maybe you're not listening to your body. Maybe you know what you should do, but there's a wounding around it. So maybe you're carrying something that, you need to heal first before you can make those changes that you want to make, or transform into the new you, basically. So again, it's that death and rebirth cycle. It's healing those wounds to allow the birth of the new you to come into fruition. And then we've got Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Pluto is transiting in your 5th house, and we'll go retrograde here for 5 months. Now, so the house 5 is the house of children. It's the house of creativity. It's about performance, joy, self-expression, really. So it can also be about love affairs and dating, the need for pleasure, passions. It's a good karma house. So there's a lot that this house holds. But it is joy, really. Ultimately, it's about joy. So with Pluto here in the 5th house, now this could be, as I said before, it is the house of children. So there could be some, really major changes happening in your children's life, transformational changes. It could also be to do with, your own self-expression. Maybe you're, finally healing those wounds around not feeling good enough, not feeling able to speak out. And, that's the opportunity here. And by the end of, by the time Pluto's got to the end of Aquarius, you are, you've rised as the phoenix, and now you're expressing yourself, your true self. Because Aquarius is also about, individuating. It's about letting go of all of those conditionings and suppressions that we've experienced throughout our life. So you've got a good opportunity here to heal those wounds that relate to your self-expression. And you've got the support of Neptune there to help you surrender, let go, and release. Okay, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So Pluto's transiting in your 4th house. And the 4th house relates to family, your home. It's your, ancestry. It's the deepest parts of who you are, the deepest psychological levels of who you are. So with Pluto transiting here, it's really offering for an opportunity for, during this retrograde period to just become aware and notice what comes up in relation to your family. Where are the wounds that you're carrying deep within yourself that need to be healed? Just paying attention to that, and allowing yourself to release, surrender. We've got Neptune over here to support that release and surrender, letting go. Sometimes, it's not your wound to carry, particularly when it relates to family. It can be wounds that aren't yours to carry. The ones that are yours to carry, that you've come into this life to heal, this is the opportunity to do that, to face those deep parts, those deep wounds, and allow the healing to begin. You've got Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Pluto is transiting and going retrograde in your third house, the house of communication. It's skill-based learning, writing, siblings. It can be extended family as well, like uncles and aunts, cousins, community. It's your neighbors in your neighborhood. Even short distance travel, like buses and trains. So transiting in that third house there. So what wounds, are coming up? I've already started coming up, but this retrograde allows you that opportunity to go a little bit deeper and begin that healing process in relation to, how you communicate. Whether it be, maybe you're a writer, maybe you're a podcaster, I don't know, but there's an opportunity here to really transform how you communicate, on a one-to-one level, and on a on a social level, a network level, if you like. Could even be some wounds related to your early childhood education, or just early childhood in general. Really, maybe things weren't so great for you at school, and maybe those wounds are resurfacing now, and that's an opportunity here for you to really dig into those and heal that baggage that you're carrying around, so that then you can be born into the new you, the next version of you. Okay, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Pluto is going retrograde in your second house. So this is the house of money, self-worth, confidence. It's your earnings, savings. It could be big purchases, your attitude towards money. So transiting here in the second house, maybe there's a big purchase in the works for you. Maybe, we're looking at Neptune over here in the fourth. Maybe you're buying your dream house, making that dream a reality. But first, there's some healing work that you need to do before we get there. So what wounds are you carrying around related to your self-worth, or how you earn your money? Maybe early attitudes that you learned about money and holding money. Even that can relate to past life, vows of poverty, things like that. So there's some wounds there that you're carrying related to money in some way, and they'll be coming up now. So you have an opportunity to rewrite your story, to let go of those old beliefs that are limiting you and holding you back. Allow for the new to come in. And also Neptune then supports that surrender, release, letting go, that healing, really healing. Okay, then for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Pluto is transiting your first house. What a big time for you. Okay, so going retrograde in your first house for the next 5 months. The first house is all about, it's about your image, about your self-image. It's about how you show up to the world, how you present yourself, your personality, your persona, even your style. So this could be bringing up wounds around those themes, wounds around, your identity, who you are, all of it really. So I guess this is an opportunity to do some really deep healing work on any identity issues that you may be carrying. And then you've got Neptune there to support that release and surrender, allowing you to let go of those old stories that you were told, about who you are, or, what you should look like, or what you should, be saying or doing. So it's a great opportunity to, really transform your identity and how you show up in the world. And lucky last, we have Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So Pluto is up there transiting in your 12th house. The house of, it can be the house of sorrow, but that's not the best way to look at it. It's the house of, release. Can be of endings, of self-sabotage, surrender, spirituality. So a deeply transformative and healing time for you, particularly in a spiritual sense. It may be bringing up some old wounds around, perhaps even some bad habits, like self-undoing sort of habits, things that you do there. Maybe it's an opportunity to release those, self-undoing habits or patterns. You've got Neptune there to help support that release, that surrender, that let go. Allow your faith to carry you through. This could be a time of, testing your faith, trusting that what needs to die, it's ready to die. If it's being brought to the surface, it's ready for releasing. It's ready for healing. It's ready for you to let go of it so that that new version of that part of you can be birthed into existence. Well, that's it from me for this week. I hope that content has been helpful. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment to let me know what did resonate for you. And we'll see you next week. Bye.